Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Welcome back all my regular viewers, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. So tonight's video is another Halloween one, my favourite time of year. So I'm going to go all out with this set. So I'm doing kind of like a vampy gothic Halloween set. So to do this set, I'm going to be using a range of different products. So I'll be using glitter bells, and I'll also be using black acrylic from OPI. I want you to see the difference between this acrylic and the last video that I posted, which was using acrylic from Pixie Nails, and you can see the difference. It is like night and day, the difference in the two acrylics. Glitter Bells Carbon Black is out of stock in my local suppliers, so I can't wait until that comes back in. But yeah, so I'm starting out with Crimson. This is one of the new loose glitters from Glitter Bells. This is the medium one, and it is gorgeous. This is, oh my goodness, it's so nice. It's so glittery. I'm going to order the fine in it as well, because it is just, oh, it's so nice. So normally when I'm using glitter on a set of nails, I normally would do all the rest of the acrylic first and would leave the glitter to the very end, but I'm doing it first this set because I'm going to be using black acrylic. The way I'm putting the glitter on the nails, I'm taking up a bead of glass slippers from Glitter Bells, and then I'm directly placing that bead into the crimson loose glitter and then transferring it onto the nails. So you'll see here, I kind of like turn my brush so that I push it on, if you know what I mean. I put it on upside down. I don't press it on, I kind of just glide it on. And that way that gets the acrylic mixing in with that glitter so that it'll just move like a pre-mixed glitter acrylic. So you can see here, I kind of just like, I don't know, slide it off the brush. Yeah, and that's how I would put on any loose glitter. I also, when it's still tacky and wet like this, I would dip my brush into the glitter and fill in any spaces while it's still wet. This particular glitter doesn't really get stuck into your brush, so I was able just to wipe it out, and it wasn't transferring anything into my monomer. So this is the OPI's black acrylic. It's their FX range. I'm sorry to say it has been discontinued, but I've had it and it's great. I've run out of all my other good black acrylics. And I didn't want to use the Pixie Nails one again, so yeah, I'm using my OPI one. So the ring finger, the middle finger and the pointer finger are all going to be black acrylic, and then I'm going to do the nail art on top of those. For those of my viewers who watched my previous video, I hope you can see the difference. It really is like night and day, the difference of these acrylics. This one just flows really, really well. Very, very like the Glitter Bells Carbon Black, and I don't even think I'll ever use the Pixie one again. So please let me know if if you are interested in maybe me giving it away. In a little giveaway, I'll add a few other little bits and pieces. So yeah, let me know in the comments below, and I will get that organised. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let you watch the black acrylic being laid down, and then I will cap one of the nails, and we'll come back whenever, or I'll come back whenever we start to do the nail art. So now all the nails have all been filed and shaped, and if anyone has seen any of my videos before, you'll know I always like to put down a matte top coat before I do any nail art. That way, you know, if there's anything that needs to be taken off the nail or wiped off the nail, it's not going to affect any of the colours or anything below. Although this usually doesn't happen whenever you're working with coloured acrylic, but I'm a creature of habit, and I always do it. And as the little finger and the thumb are glitter, I'm going to go ahead and I'm applying Glitter Bells No White Top Coat, because I want them to be glossy, just so that that beautiful glitter really shows through. So I'm going to start out doing the nail art on the pointer finger, and I'm just taking some normal red gel polish, and I'm going to be doing like dripping blood. So I'm just taking my fine liner, and I'm kind of getting like a big drop of this, and I'm pressing it first and then just sliding it up towards the cuticle to give me that fine line, but then the droplet at the end. So now I'm just going to fill in around the cuticle area with the gel polish, and I'm doing like a little arch between each droplet just so that it ties them all together. Before I go ahead and cure the gel polish, I'm going to just pour over some of that crimson loose glitter from Glitter Bells, just to tie in the glitter with the other nails. I've cured it in my lamp for 60 seconds, and I've just brushed off any of the excess glitter, but I think maybe that this glitter is a bit too thick for creating those the dripping blood. But I'm going to leave it as it is, just to keep it all tied in with the set. You can see on the middle finger I forgot to hit record. I'm so sorry whenever I was doing those roses, but I caught on, and I'm able to show you me doing the flowers on this finger. To do the flowers, I'm using my size 5 acrylic brush. It's an Acrylic brush from Brillbird, and I'm using Snowdrops White. So I'm just using the little pot that came with my trial kit. I do have one of the bigger pots, but I just thought I would get the use out of this. So whenever I am picking up a bead to do my flowers, I pick up quite a wet bead, because I want to make sure that the acrylic is going to stick to the nails and it's not too dry that it's going to, you know, be hard for it to actually settle on the nails. I then drain out all my liquid and make sure that the bead is nice and glossy, and then I place it onto the nails. So once I place it on the nails, you can see I kind of like separate them and make like a little C. And then I just use the belly and the tip of my brush just to push those, to push that bead out into the shape of a petal. And I just continue to do that process, just building up the petals of the nails until I get to a point where I know that I'm not going to be able to do a full petal, and that I'm just going to be able to do the center of the nail. Onto the center of the flower now, and I'm just placing a bead of the acrylic right in the middle, and I'm using the point of my brush just to create like a hole in the middle of that, and that is what creates the center of your flower. Very easy. Moving on now, I'm going to be doing a 3D skull on this nail. So I'm going to start out with taking a big bead of the white acrylic, and I'm just going to place that in. That's going to be the forehead area of the skull. And you can see, I'm just trying to create sort of dips in it to create the temple and the eye sockets. So I'm going to be doing this in step by step so that you'll be able to see how it's done. And I find that it's best when you're doing 3D work to build it up in steps. You can see just by kind of pushing up in the bottom of that bead, you can see the top of the eye sockets beginning to form and a bit of the bridge of the nose. So the next bead I'm going to place, this is going to be one of the eye sockets. So I'm working quite wet so that I've got plenty of time to work with this. And I'm just going to place it around and make sure that I'm building up that bridge and that eye socket. Moving on now to the next bead, and I've picked up quite a wet bead to start to build up the eye socket area. So I will build this up in different stages. I just want to make sure that I get the correct shape and you know, the correct symmetry as well. So moving on now to the opposite side, and again at this point I had to laugh because I thought, you know, this is starting to look like a stormtrooper. If anybody's looking at any stormtrooper nails, then yeah, I can do it. But yeah, so you can see kind of like the top part of the skull beginning to take shape, and I'm just pushing up the bridge of the nose just to create that little triangle area that you see in the skull. I'll just keep adding bits of the acrylic just until I get kind of the correct, you know, the right look, and I'm building it up and it all looks, you know, kind of like a skull, which is what I'm aiming for. On now to the bridge of the nose, and I'm just placing a bead of acrylic just in the very center between the eye sockets, and again just using the point of my brush just to get that little triangular shape. The bottom part of the skull is probably a little bit easier to do. I'm just taking a bead of acrylic and kind of sort of moulding it into like a square shape, but kind of like a tapered square. If we were doing a tapered square nail, it's kind of that shape. And then I will use the tip of my brush just to create a line for the lips, or well, not like skull has lips, but a line for the mouth. I did try for a minute there and thought, you know, I'm going to start to add the little beads of white to create the teeth. And then I thought, that's not working. Yeah, it's just far too small for me to do that. But I will keep trying. I'm just going to go in now and just add some finishing little touches, just make sure that I'm happy enough with the shape of the eye sockets and everything else of the skull. And then I'm going to move on and just finish off this nail by adding on some more flowers. So I'm having a second attempt at doing the teeth, and again I end up leaving it. But I will keep practicing my skulls, and maybe next year I'll have a great skull that has all the teeth. So I am going to let you just go ahead and watch me fill up the rest of this nail with the flowers, and then I'll come back once they're done. Just to add a little bit of, not really bling, but just some caviar beads, I'm just taking some top coat and just putting some of the caviar beads into that top coat and mixing them about so that they will all stick to the nail, and when they cure, they're all surrounded in the top coat, so they'll be stuck really, really securely. I think that's a great way if you're going to be putting a lot of caviar beads on. That's the best way to do them. I will also go ahead and add some rhinestones. I can nearly get my words out tonight. But I'm not going to show them in the video because I never like the videos to be too long. And I am aware that this one is a bit longer than normal. So I'm not going to video me doing the rhinestones. Back to the little finger now, and I'm going to be doing a 3D spider. So I'm picking up a bead of the black acrylic and I'm just kind of pressing it and moulding it out to a flat circle shape, and then I'm going to go in and do the head of the spider, but I'm going to use some red acrylic as well as the black. So I will dip it into the red first and then into the black, and when I place it on the nail it'll look like there's red coming through the head of the spider. To do the legs of the spiders, I normally would just paint them on using gel polish, but I thought I would go all out in this video and I would actually do the legs in 3D as well, so this may take some time. To do the legs then, I'm just picking up quite a wet bead of the black acrylic and I'm just moulding it and forming it into the shape of what the legs would be. This is going to take quite a lot of time to do, so just to keep the length of the video down, I'm not going to show all the legs being done, but I am going to show enough so that you can get to see how they're done. I have went in and added a little bit more of the red just to the body of the spider, just to tie it all in together. And this is how really the spider turned out. So I hope I was able to show you enough of how to do the spider and to do the legs of the spider, and I will go ahead and I will do the same on the thumb. Normally when I'm doing a set of nails, I always do like the ring finger and not the ring finger, the little finger and the thumb the same. Back onto the pointer finger here, and because this glitter was just a bit too big for doing this look, I'm just going in with a little drill bit and just separating out the drips of blood just to make them look a little bit more better. And here is the finished set, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, you know what to do. Give them a thumbs up. And again, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, you could go ahead and do that now. Again, I apologise for being absent for the past few days, but I will make it up to you and I'll be back with some more Halloween creations. So take care. See you soon. Bye.